Hey everybody, it's James with Guitar with Matthew and James. And what we're going to do here is a restring on an acoustic guitar. And this is a beautiful little Bentley. It's got a nice little adjustment right under here for the truss rod. Nice little guitar. If you happen to be able to pick one of these up on the cheap, I'd say definitely go for it. So I've already got these strings kind of loosened up a little bit, and I've got all my tools laid out that I'm going to need. Everybody who plays guitar should know how to change your own strings. It's not difficult to do, and it doesn't take very many tools, and let's get right to it, okay? A little winder you could pick up at any guitar shop for $3. Just gonna make sure your strings are nice and loose. And normally, I cut them off. But with this guitar and the owner of this guitar, I'm just gonna save them just in case they want them for some reason. I'm not going to try to guess. I'm just going to take them completely off. If you get them nice and loose, they'll usually pull right off over the tops of the tuning machines. So, wrong way. These little winders make life a whole lot easier. Especially if you got a knob that's a little bit sticky. Okay. And I'm just pulling these right off over the top of the tuning knobs. They come right out. These strings are old, but the real reason why I'm replacing them is we just did a bridge repair on it, and I'll have to post a video on that. And just to make sure that we're not going to re-pull that bridge up, I decided that maybe a pair of really light strings would be in order for this particular guitar. So if that's something that you're experiencing and you've had to do a repair on your bridge there, you might consider putting some really light strings on it. Once you got your strings loose from the tuning machines, you got your tuning peg, or not these tuning pegs, but you got these pins right here. And if you don't have a tool like this little winding knob to just pull those pins out, or if they give you any grief, just reach inside that sound hole and push them up. And if you can get your big hand back out of there, that's a bonus. Pull those out. These are generally reusable, and if you have to replace one because it's broken, you can usually pick them up at a guitar store for like $5 or $6 for 6 of them. I've got a little tray built in here on my table where I can put stuff. Pick up the string that I dropped. And again, normally I just cut these and throw them away, but in this case, I'm just going to wind them up and save them. Because the guy who owns this may want them back. Take your new guitars, strings, and these are really lightweights. The thicker the string, the more tone it's going to give you. If you don't know what that is, just think of it as noise. And they're labeled on there, which ones are which. It even tells you right here, E first is silver, it tells you the diameter. The second, B, purple. G, green. Fourth, black, or the D string. It tells you right on there. All of them usually do. You do want to try not to kink the strings when you're taking them out of there. If you get lost, again, on the packaging itself, it tells you exactly which string is which. And which one you start with isn't generally critically important. Now I'm going to start with my E string, top. Lay that right there. Don't go anywhere. There we go. And I'm just going to take this little ferrule that's in here, has a little barrel right there. And drop it down here in the hole. Push the pin in. And then I'm just going to push down over that saddle. Line it up there. Take my cutters that I have set off here. And I like to cut off that much. 4 fingers worth, okay? Past the tuning peg. So 4 fingers worth is right there. It's not exact. If you're off by a few millimeters or a centimeter or ½ inch, it's not that big a deal. And then I like to take my needle nose pliers, and these are just a very small set of needle nose, and the last centimeter or so, I put a bend in it, or a hook. It's like a little U-bend right there. And then I'll take and I'll thread that through the tuning. Get it all the way through, and I leave about, I don't know, ½ centimeter sticking out the edge here. And your strings always go to the inside of the tuners. And I like to wind them underneath that little piece of string that's sticking out. So I like to wind everything in a downward direction. Some people are not that picky about it, and it's okay if you're not. That's just the way I like to do it. And then I don't wind it full bore tight until I get all 6 strings on there. So just tight enough to hold it all in place. And then you're going to rinse and repeat. Do that with each string going down. I got the A string here. You drop that thing in there. Bend it down over that saddle. Measure off about 4 fingers. Clip it. Excess goes in the garbage. Rinse and repeat all the way across. Remember, your strings go to the inside of the tuners. Rinse and repeat. Got the D string now. Four fingers. It's almost like a scotch. Bend my little J hook in there. Pull it down tight. Ah, everybody's favorite, the G string. It didn't sound right as soon as it came out of my mouth. And for the sake of making life easy on myself, I'm going to switch it up. And put the tuning knobs on the side that I can reach. I would encourage you, if you're doing this, to do the same thing. These thinner strings, it can be a little bit more difficult to make sure that it's winding under, especially if you're visually challenged like I am. And the B and the E, I can't remember which one's which, and these are both small enough. Let's see, the B is purple. That's the one I want. How often should you change your strings? I don't change them until I break them. When I break one, I change them all. That's just me, though. You know, if you're wanting that perfect tone, that perfect sound, and you're that much of a perfectionist, well, they say you change them every so many hours or so many days. Let's put it this way, if there's mold on your strings, change them. Also, if there's mold on your strings, you're not playing your guitar enough. Play your guitar more. Last one. Boy, it's a fine little string right there. And watch it on these E's, the B and the E. You stick yourself right in the finger with the tip of that string, it will draw blood. And that's it right there. All it's left to do is tune it. So I'll get to tuning away and I'll join you back here in a few minutes once I've got her all tuned up. All right, well, it's been a few seconds for you guys, but it's been a couple hours here on this end. I got her all tuned up. The strings are pretty much settled in. It's the little Bentley we were working on. And I think she sounds pretty good, even with lightweight strings. I think she sounds pretty good. Good little sounding guitar. As you play them, it's only been a couple hours on this end, but as you play them, and then over the course of the next 24 or 48 hours, there'll be a little bit of stretch in, and then the string should settle in real nicely. Anybody should be able to do it. If you have questions, shoot me questions in the comments section. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. I am not an expert. I am not a luthier. I did repair the bridge on this guitar and put a new set of strings on it. And overall, I think she gets a pretty clean bill of health. beautiful guitar. You know, I read somewhere on the internet that Johnny Cash used to occasionally play one of these. You know, but like Abe Lincoln said, you can't believe everything that you hear on the internet, but I believe it. If we can do anything for you, please let us know. We're in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Don't forget to support your local guitar store. There's wherever you're at, I'm sure there's one around there, or a music store, not necessarily just guitars. Ours here in this town is River City Music, so we love those guys over there. There's another one too, but the one I usually frequent is River City, and we love them. So don't forget to support your local guy. If you buy everything on the internet, well, who's going to help you when you need some help? Hope you guys have a wonderful time viewing it. I hope I was able to help somebody out there, and shoot us a comment in the comment section. Bye now.